good night to you, Grenada, Carriacou, and Petit the rest of the Eastern Caribbean, wherever you are locally, regionally, internationally. We say a special good night to you from right here on Talking Points. My name's Sheldon Scott. I'll be with you up until the 10 o'clock hour. Saying good night to all of you that have joined us via the various mediums. Those of you who have joined us via YouTube, those of you on Facebook, those of you on We Noise TV and We Noise Radio. Good night to you, Wade. It's one of those nights, yeah, I know. Yeah. Early up in the program, just want to send my condolences out to the family and friends, colleagues of the late Linda Straker. We did try, We did try. Talking Points family, I must commend you all. Because when I made the call, you all went running, yeah? You know, some of you who got called from the US, some of my friends in the US called down to people here and say, hey, you only need to go and give blood and so on, yeah? Not gonna dwell on the negative. I ain't getting, believe me, I ain't getting into that tonight, no. I could get into a lot of negative, you know, but I wouldn't do it tonight, no. So I send my condolences out to her children, yeah? Ariel, Naomi. I can't remember her son's name, yeah? I remember her speaking to me about his son and I could never remember his name. She always say my son. So I never know his name. Her partner as well, whose name suddenly eludes me. All the stories I had to hear about him. Wonderful guy. Yes, indeed, folks. And yeah, I know tonight we had planned to have, and let me say it early, we had planned to have Mr. Cadgington Hood, former Attorney General. We had planned to have him on with us tonight. But at the last moment, something came up on his end, and as such, he was unable to make it tonight. Yeah, he made sure he told me in enough time, because we had already put up the artwork, everything, that he'll be on with us tonight. And so, but there was something that he really cannot get out of. As you know, he's a lawyer, eh? So there are things that he really could not get out of, and as such, he was unable to make it with us tonight. But he has confirmed that at the first available point in time, he will come on and join us, because he has a lot of different things to speak about, eh? And it's a person who is very well versed in the things he's speaking about. Because when he's telling you about a law, like when he comes and he tells you, let's say he tells you about the procurement law or something, this is the individual who sat down with the drafters and drafted it. This is the individuals who, when the drafters were finished with it, brought it to him, and he went through it and went back and forth with it with them, then to cabinet, back and forth through cabinet and the drafters and so on, before the final thing that went to parliament came up. So he knows what he's speaking about when he says that this is an aspect of this law or that law or so. That is why he has been able to tell us about the Kawana Bay. That is why he's been able to tell us that, hey, the government has no right going to pay these 214, possibly 215 investors in the Kawana Bay. What they had to do was stay out of that. That had nothing to do with them. That's between the investor and them. So that had nothing to do with the people of Grenada, the investor and the developer. That's their business. But our government has gone forward and paid these people millions of dollars. Let me repeat, your government has paid these people millions of dollars. Not a couple 100,000, you know. Millions of dollars they've gone and paid to people that they did not have any responsibility to pay to. Yeah? There was an agreement between the developers and the investors. The developers were the one that were holding the lands. So if you, as government, have got to an agreement with the developers and the lands are being acquired on behalf of the people of Grenada, that's an arrangement between the developers and the government of Grenada. So if you pay them 22 million, as far as we are concerned, you pay them for the land. You've acquired the land and you pay them for the land, whatever. But that does not mean that after you pay the developers, you still have to come back and pay the investors in relation to the land. So now, our country, and I do hope that this question comes up in some forum pretty soon. I hope that the government has a press conference or some sort of forum where the question can be properly asked of the proper individuals. Because when it was asked of Mr. Richard Duncan, he said that this really is a question for the Attorney General's chambers. So let's hope we get an answer in relation to that. Yeah, let's hope that we get an answer sometime soon in relation to the issue of the payments, why we are paying investors who invested in somebody. Because over the years, they've said all kind of thing about all different projects and so on. But in which instance did you see the government of Grenada having to go and pay investors? They said this government, this ruling party has said all kind of thing about things from way back in offshore banking, coming right up the road to CBI. But say where the government of Grenada has ever had to pull out money and go and pay investors. That hasn't been the case. Except in this case where this government erroneously have gone forward and paid the investors in this project. But the time will come when questions hopefully will be asked. And that is one of the things that I will definitely miss my good friend Linda for. Yeah, because you might be hearing a little fan in the back. I'll give a little story at the proper time. Yeah, I'll give that story when it is the time to give a tribute. I'll do a tribute. I won't do a tribute tonight. I will just mention that I will do a tribute. Yeah, I'll hold what I have to say for a tribute when the time is right. Yeah? Yeah, I think that's the way I'm going to go. Yeah, my good friend Izzy. Yeah, my good friends there. Kathy, good night to you. And Wendy. Yeah, when I call on them, like it's one time, you know, when I call Kathy, I call Wendy, she say, watch, so is the case, call Kathy thing, yes, all right thing, watch, one time, you know. I can't give that whole story tonight, I won't go down that road, yeah? But all I'll say is, that is two soldiers. those study both of them do nursing and all kind of thing, but that is two soldiers. When you call on them, they will answer, yeah? Nice, beautiful. Just as the rest of you, when I call on you all answer, not just them. Yeah, there are people I know I can call on when there's a serious need. I can call on and they will answer. Yeah, yes indeed. And folks, I'm going to keep the phone lines open tonight because I had to switch around the program that I was going to do because we were going to speak to Brother Cadgington Hood. So I had to kind of switch around and talk about some other things, yeah? So I'm going to give you all a little chance to make a little call now. And I'll still give you a chance to call again later on because I'm going to deal with some issues here tonight. And you know, I spoke last night a bit about the Procurement Act. And let me explain what the Procurement Act is. When the government of Grenada wants to purchase a good or a service, a goods or service. So let's say the government of Grenada wants to purchase, they want to purchase 100 computers. It could be that they're purchasing the 100 computers to outfit a ministry, change the computers in a ministry. It can be that they're buying that 100 computers for schools or for the hospitals or whatever. But they're buying 100 computers. Under the new National Party, what was not allowed was that government couldn't just go out there and say, we're buying 100 computers, walk into, let's say, Hankies and tell Hankies, hey, we want 100 computers, bring it come. Because there was a law that was put in place back in, and let me get the exact year here, 2014. Yeah, I was a member of parliament during that point in time, and that specific law spoke to what needs to take place before government does that purchase. And why that is so, it is because it is a measure to protect us, the government, the people, because the government is buying on our behalf, to protect us as the consumer, so that you won't have something that government could possibly get for $10 and they go and they purchase it for $1,000. Yeah? So that is why you have the procurement process. So you have a procurement board. That is a group of individuals that they look over the various bids. So government is looking for the 100 computers they are supposed to put out. There is a part of the Ministry of Finance website where they put out they're looking for these goods or services or whatever it is. And they usually gazette certain things. They put certain things in other documents and so on. They put it out there that they're looking for these. So you see that they're looking for 100 computers. You sell computers. So you send a bid to the government that then goes to the procurement board. So the bid that you send to the government for the 100 computers would say, okay, for those 100 computers, it's going to cost you 50,000 EC. Another company may send in a bid, and their bid may be, hey, it is 70,000. Another one may send in a bid and says it's 30,000. The procurement board then has the responsibility to look over those bids, and generally, it is accepted practice that when you have these bids going to the procurement board, that you try to get at least 3 different companies, entities bidding on a particular good or service that the government is searching for. So you try to get at least 3 different bids that come in relation to that. So you have more options. It does not necessarily mean that the bid that comes in cheapest ends up being the bid that wins. So you could have the one that comes in at 70, while you at 50, somebody at 30, but somebody comes in at 70. They may win the bid. And the reason being, the procurement board has to look at different things. They have to look at the quality of what is being offered. Because 100 Dell machines is not the same as 100 iMacs, Macintosh machines. You say Macs, but Mac machines. It's not the same as 100 Lenovo machines. And even among Lenovo machines, there may be some that have 1 terabyte hard drive and some that have 200 gigabyte hard drive. So there are different components to what is being offered. There's also the after sales service aspect of it. Will the person who is selling it at 50,000, if something goes wrong, will they be willing to come and offer a service to fix what we have bought from them? The person at 70 may have factored that in and say, yes, we're offering after sales service. The person at 30 may just be some cheap machines that just pull off the web in China, not really all them specs and thing, unknown components, and it's so cheap, so you say, no, grab the cheap one. No, that's not how it works. That is why you have a procurement process, because you have to check the quality of what is being offered, the service around what is being offered. If it's a vehicle, for instance, and we're buying that vehicle, who we're buying that vehicle from? Will they be able to service that vehicle every 3 months or every how much miles? Will they be able to supply the spare parts and the consumables, the brakes and the oil filters and all those other things, the spark plugs, all that you may need over a period of time for that specific vehicle? Do they have a chain of supply that can provide those items, as they are needed for what you have bought from them? So understand that, because there are some people that may play some mischievous things and come and say, well, okay, all you used to take the highest bid on everything. I've just explained why it is you do it in that particular way, so that it's not always the lowest bids that win, but the bid that can deal with it more effectively, after sale service and all of that, and the consumables that may be necessary. So that is how that operates. Now, under the New National Party, if what the government of Grenada was looking for was under $10,000, not 10, sorry, let me pull it up here. If it was under $15,000, and I can show you that here, and let me just pull this up. And that is why me and Linda were good friends, because we always like to research. So, if what is being offered, and you see this is Act of 2014 here, yeah, Public Procurement and Disposal of Public Property, and 2014, right? This act does not apply to the procurement of goods, works, or services under 15,000, right? Or arising out of the procurement that is below the approved thresholds prescribed from time to time for a procuring entity, which is a state-controlled enterprise or a statutory body whereby such procuring entities may approve procurement which is below such threshold values. So in other words, anything that, and this was under the NNP, anything under $15,000 did not need to go to the procurement board. So if it was just a contract to do something and it was $10,000 or $5,000, that didn't need to go through procurement. Yeah, that didn't need to go to tender and to go to the procurement board. But once it was over 15,000, let's say it's 20,000, 25,000, it had to go to the procurement board. This is what was in the law during the period of time of the new National Party. Yeah? It's also the acquiring of stores or equipment. If the stores or equipment are being acquired from a public entity that is disposing of such stores and equipment in accordance with the procedure described in Section 57. In other words, if one ministry is getting rid of, let's say, vehicles that are still properly working vehicles or computers, etc., another ministry can purchase those without having to go through the procurement process, right? The acquiring of services provided by the government or a department of the government. So if the Ministry of Works is doing work for the Ministry of Education, then in that case, you don't need to go to the procurement board. It's Masabul Masako, right? Contracts of employment, and I think that's quite understandable. Procurement of items of a sensitive nature for national defense and security purposes or strategic considerations that the government may, by general or specific order, specify. So you may not want them to know that you are getting specific items for national security to be able to find out what the drug lords that may be existing in Grenada are doing, what the gangs are doing, other criminal elements in the country, what they may be doing. Then you don't need to go through the procurement process for that. What this government did is that they did an amendment to that law. So they amended it in 2024, 2 years ago. In fact, April 2 years ago, 12th of April 2024, they amended that law. The opposition spoke about it in Parliament, but a lot of people didn't realize what was taking place here. They changed the figure from 15,000. So during the NNP, once it was over 15,000, you had to go to procurement. This present government came in and said, nah, put it at 100,000. So they changed the figure from 15,000 to $100,000. So now they can give a contract to their friends. Yeah. They can give a contract to their friends for $50,000, $60,000, $70,000, $80,000, $99,000. They can give a contract to their friends for that and not have to go through the procurement process. So they don't have to get 2 and 3 bids. So they may have friends who are offering a particular service. Let's say that you may have a certain type of secretary that drives a cab that provides a service like dressing up a place for an activity. Let's say they provide that service. So they provide a service where they go and they put up buntings and they put up all these rosettes and they dress a place up for an activity. Let's say, for instance, Independence. An independence activity, a carnival activity, or for instance, the Heroes Park activity, or even the Project Polaris activity. Let's say they provide decorative services for those sort of things, right? Now they provide decorative services. They're billing government $80,000 or $90,000, and there's no procurement process. So people like Pilot Mr. Franklin Antoine, pilot. And Peggy, good night to you. Other people who may offer different aspects of those services or those services may never even get to hear about it because it's not tendered out. They don't say that we're looking for people to do these things because they say it's under the tender limit. And they may have people that over a period of time you realize make as much as $800,000, $1 million, because every now and again, they're getting a little 20,000 here, a little 80,000 there, a little 70,000 here and there they're getting these things. So we have to understand what is taking place. They changed it from 15 and they moved the threshold to 100,000. And the reason they did that is so that they can hand contracts for 80,000. Ask Carriacou people what's been going on. Yeah? They moved it so that they can do these things and you could have your people in Carriacou who get in contracts for 70 something or 80 something or 90 something $1,000 and it's not going through a public procurement process which would be able to open it out to the general public. So then you may end up with only the NDC people as the people who are able to obtain contracts because it's not being tendered out. It's just, hey, boy, go and form a company. Form a company. Because if you do a check and you realize how much companies were formed a couple of years ago for the independence celebrations, you'd realize what I'm talking about. How many people were able to secure contracts for significant amounts of money without any procurement process, without knowing if they can properly provide that service. That's why you have so many people that call themselves contractors, went and do Build Back Better houses and made a mess of it because there was no procurement process that said, this individual, we have to get their information, we have to find out their body of work, see how much houses they build and so on. Instead of just saying, well, okay, hey, that guy's a contractor, give him a contract day for me. And then you're hearing stories of envelopes dropping in certain parliamentary representatives' offices. You're hearing of those stories. Now, you're also hearing people who are being owed by the government of Grenada after being contracted to provide these services are being told, we can't pay you because you don't have a VAT number. You need to go and register. So you hire somebody to do a job for you. After they do the job, you're telling them now you have to go and register to get paid. They didn't tell them that before, you didn't have that conversation with them and say, hey, you need to go and get registered and so to be able to qualify for the job. Instead of that, you go through the process with these people. You're coming to tell the people now you have to register to be able to receive your money. We have a caller. Hello, good night.
How you doing, brother?
I'm good. How are you doing?
Not so bad. You didn't hear me for a while.
Yes, I understand how it goes sometimes, man.
Hey, boy, man, go to one of my co-worker, or what I could also say, a family to William Reed. Just what I'm hearing.
I'm hearing.
William Reed.
1 second. I'm getting a bit of feedback on your line.
All right, let me come from this.
If I'm hearing it so terrible, I'm absolutely positive that the listeners aren't hearing anything.
So you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you clearer now. Go right ahead.
Right. I'm saying to you good night again, and my condolences to the William Reed family. Also, he's a part of my family because I used to work with him too, and he used to take care of me. But he passed away a while about this afternoon day.
Okay.
And just about 4 minutes ago, I went and see the body. They still have the body over there, they're waiting on the doctor to declare him dead or whatever. So I just call and say,
we send our condolences to the family then.
Yeah, so I just want to, I talked to the wife as well, Sheila. I speak to the daughter too.
Okay. All right.
So I just want to say good night to the NNPI. He also was a strong NNP, but we lost this one. But we have to be strong and stay committed. Because we ain't not gonna talk on the ground, and I'm on the ground, and I'm working tirelessly. Understand? I'm working for the new national party to bring it to fruition. And we'll come to fruition. We just have to keep our head high, stay focused, and be ready. There's a lot of people outside here. I have some nephew there who say they're going to register. Every time I ask them, you register? Yes. But I ain't do it as yet. You register, but you don't do it as yet. What are you telling me? I say, I'm going to register. You want the NMP to win, but you're not registering. If a brother of mine begging them, they're not going. You know? But Sheldon, you are doing a good job. I didn't hear you for a while. But I'm here, and I just want to say again, Sheldon, before I go, good night to my political leader, Sister Honorable MMP. Good night, Dr. Modest. Good night, Sister Kate, because a long time I'm here for them, and my representative, Miss Mayana Charles. Good night, good friend. You know, Sheldon, and we just have to stay focused. But you are doing a good job. We ain't missing nothing. I still just listen every night, although I haven't called as much, but you ain't missing anything. Sherry, good night, and good night to all the family of the New National Party. Dr. Mitchell, good night. Sheldon, have a wonderful night. Continue doing what you're doing. May God bless you and give you strength and courage. In Jesus' name.
All right. Thank you so very much, my brother.
God bless.
Yes, indeed.
Yes.
And folks would realize that I'm sweating like a slave in a cane field. It is hot in here. Yeah, believe me. And there's no air conditioning here. Yeah. I may have to work on getting air conditioning done inside here. But you know that costs. Yeah. Because believe me, if I turn the fan on, then you're going to hear the fan coming through the microphone. So I can't turn the fan on to me. So I had to just stay there and bear it, isn't it? Yeah, you could see I'm bathing in water, right? No, it's not bathing, I'm bathing in sweat there right now. Yes, indeed, folks. So yeah, you can call at any point in time. So just letting you all understand a bit of what's going on, and we'll take this call and then get back to that. Hello, good night.
Mr. Scott, good night.
Hi, good night.
How are you?
I'm quite fine. How are you doing?
I have not spoken to you for quite a while. This is your friend from Trinidad.
Hey, Papa, you give me up, man. You give me up.
No, I ain't give you up. I ain't give you up. Work and my daughter by UNN University.
Yes, I remember.
And yeah, but she's finishing next month, so I'm coming up this month. I'll message you.
Make sure.
I will message you around the 20 something. But I want to tell you something. Although I haven't called in, I've been looking regimentally every day. I turn my TV on to look at you now.
You know, I was checking it out and I realized that there are a significant number of listeners in Trinidad that view this program on a nightly basis. And you know, while I was in Trinidad last month, unexpectedly...
And you didn't message me, boy?
Funeral, man. I run in and run out.
Okay.
I run in and run out. But the thing is this...
Condolences.
Yeah, well, you know, it's been a kind of year so far. But I met a guy and the guy told me, he said, Shall I look at you every single night? And his wife was telling me, he said, yeah, this guy listens to you every night. I grew up with his wife up to the age of 17. And not knowing that this guy follows religiously Talking Points every night. Yeah?
Yeah, boy.
I was surprised when I saw people in Ivory Coast and so looking at Talking Points. I wonder which Grenadian in Ivory Coast looking every night at Talking Points.
Hey, boy, I'll let you know something. I'm very impressed with the job that you're doing for your party. That's one. And I know your honorable leader is listening in. And in politics, I'm really not in politics. I'm in, as you know, I am in the public sector, right? But if it comes to the face of the party when you win the election, it becomes you on the international front. So I really want your leader to listen that Sheldon Scott could be the face of the Foreign Affairs Ministry.
No,
because I don't know.
I have a partner for that. Believe me, I have a partner for that, boy.
Boy, listen. I know. But sometimes the face, the face. You understand? And people are acquainted with certain things.
That face pretty, you know.
Yeah, no, I'm not saying you need people who can do the work and create the network.
Yeah, well, we do have our networks. We do have our people in nearly every country.
Yeah.
We do have our friends in various countries and so on. And the thing is this: we are always willing to help whenever our country calls on us, in whichever capacity our country calls on us, we're willing to help. Yeah, whatever capacity, at whatever time. But
Yeah, but I
that
love.
will never be my decision to make. Whoever has to make that
Mm-hmm.
decision at the point in time, because I know that my political leader is a good captain. I've seen her captain before. So I know that she
Mm-hmm.
is a good captain. And she will make an excellent decision with what she has to do when the time comes. But before we get to even discussing that, we have to make sure people registered. We have to make sure people ready. We have to make sure people paying attention to the voters list, and that they know to
Correct.
get up early election morning to come and make the dream into reality.
It's gonna happen, man. It's gonna happen because God is good. God can't give you more than you can take. Because listen, when poor people suffer, when poor people cry, God listens, huh? God listens, and things will change. But the people really have to come out, and they have to go and vote, and they have to make it happen for your country and the betterment in your country. Because things are only getting more and more worse internationally. You understand?
It is,
So-
my brother, it is.
Yeah, as leaders, we need to fix the place now. Look at what's going on my ass. Oh God, I didn't want to say what's going on my ass.
Man, I see some stories coming out of there in the last month. Whew.
Boy,
Then I heard one,
There's-
was it yesterday, that there were some home invaders that were, the police liquidated them. Yeah,
well, they
some home
neutralize. I
invaders.
love the word neutralize. I love the word neutralize.
They
All of them.
neutralize the threat. Yeah, they neutralize the threat.
Yeah,
Some
you
guys.
understand?
Yeah. So
This thing is getting outrageous.
Yeah, I keep in touch with what is going on.
Yeah, but I'm glad to hear you. I have been looking on for the past year and a half, and I didn't call. Sometime, you know, now you're just doing everything and getting it done. But I'm there, brother. You have my support, mentally, spiritually. I wish I could have voted, but I can't. I'm your brother I'm your brother in Trinidad.
All right, my brother. So I hope to see you soon. You said you're coming up, so keep in touch.
I'm coming up the weekend on the 23rd, so I'll message you before.
Yes, make sure you do. All right.
I will, Sheldon. So everybody in Grenada, good night. Love you all.
All right, and you know we love you as well.
All right,
bro.
thanks. Yeah.
Bye bye. Yes, indeed, folks. That's our good friend down there in Trinidad. I hadn't heard from him for a good while, and it's good hearing from him. Sheldon, good night. Road workers, money going through their personal account to pay workers and not showing we getting it this week. So the road workers not sure they're getting their money. Also, I'm hearing that there's an issue with the police and nurses and teachers. Police and teachers, I heard, not nurses, police and teachers, regarding a taxation issue that they have been told that they need to pay some tax and so on their, some kind of thing take place there with them. Let's go to the phone line. Hello, good night.
Good night, Sheldon.
Hey, good night. How are you doing?
How are you when you don't finish your program? You got to ring your jersey.
You realize I'm being in the
What?
city.
Yeah, it seems to me like we got to find a way to get an air conditioning unit for you.
What? What I tell you, it's hot here. That is what I have to drink. I can't even drink my hot tea tonight. I have to drink water. It's hot.
Okay. Sheldon, my topic is
Just move away. Hold on. Move away from the noise a bit because it's going to distort it. The listeners won't hear you. And I want to make sure they hear you.
Yeah.
So move away from the noise or low whatever is in the background down.
yeah.
Yeah, good now. Yeah.
You hear me now?
Yeah, go right ahead, man. You
Right.
go now.
My topic is on Guankai.
Uh-huh.
And I went up Guankai on Sunday and I saw people voluntarily. I don't know what they tell them. I don't know how they tell them. Can they give them a couple days to move? So I don't know what is the promise. I don't know.
There was
Did
supposed
they
to,
register?
from what we heard in the news report, there was supposed to have been a meeting today, innit? Today,
Well,
Tuesday
Sunday,
was supposed to have a meeting.
I don't know about the meeting because I went up there and have a drink today and this evening there. I didn't see no meeting. I don't know if it's in the course of the day that the meeting happened.
Probably
But
didn't
for
even take
on my
place.
no, I don't believe it take like that. Nobody will ever tell me that it take place. What my thing is, I wonder now if the minister, which is Mr. Williams, give them people place to stay because Sunday Ghana were literally breaking down. They bring some people and was breaking down the thing. He didn't have any police around there, so I guess he maybe promised them, and they doing it voluntarily. So I don't know what is the reason for that. But
But
a few
again-
houses was broke down.
But again, my friend, and I'm glad you're telling me this because it brings again to the front the question: what is the urgency? Why is it so urgent that they break down now? I'm pretty sure they didn't find another piece of land to place these people. I'm absolutely 100% sure they did not find another piece of land to place these people on. So what is the urgency in? Yes, we know. And again, let me just say they have to move. That side of the hill there, we can't,
Yeah.
if you allow
Well,
that, you know what's going to
the-
happen. So they have to
Well,
move.
what-
But you can't just decide that you're breaking them down just so. At least do it decent.
Well, you see, they run them out on Dr. the right honorable Kit Mitchell and say he's Hitler and he's this and he's, all kind of name they give him. But he was so strange that when he was moving the people in Pandy, he literally make sure he get place to put the people. Some come in Busheju, some go in Nassau. And they still get paid, they still get money. They get the house and they still get money. People was boasting and who getting how much hundred and something, some hundred and something $1,000 until the main people could buy Tweety, the bus driver. He was investing in that. He more than a house down in Pandy down there, and after that he ended up buying bus. You understand? I don't say that the government have to do all that for people. You understand? But what I'm saying is, I always show the difference between the former Prime Minister, which is Dr. Mitchell, and the Prime Minister we have now, which is Dick Mitchell.
But there's several others. Remember, not last week, but week before, we had the former head of the squatting unit called. And they mentioned, for instance, when the people on, the bus terminal is in St. Andrew now, there used to be houses there.
Yeah.
And that those
Yeah.
people were relocated to Up Telescope, different areas. They were relocated from there. You didn't just come in and break down and tell everybody, find a place to sleep on the street and so. You go and you do the thing properly. You spoke about the Pandy area. There's also those who were living along the seacoast in Sobeys and Marquee area there that were moved into the housing project. You don't just do things that way. You're dealing with human beings here, not animals. Human beings you're dealing with emotions, with feelings. And
Exactly.
You know
Sheldon,
most of all, election day, with a vote. Let me see what they will do with it.
Yeah. Sheldon, the thing about it is, I not just voted for NNP because my father was an NNP, my mother was an NNP. Everything is about Mitchell, Dr. Mitchell. And I could tell you that we get our land through former Prime Minister Jad Brishan. We didn't get it from Kit Mitchell. I didn't get my land where I live from Dr. Mitchell, He coming after the land was distributed to the people. You understand? So you could see the difference in this NDC government, which you don't care, and the time when Jad Brishan was the Prime Minister. You understand what I'm talking about? These people don't care about nobody. All they care is to put money in their pocket and think of themselves. And I even look at that whole situation during the May Day celebration in Carriacou. You understand? The way how they treat certain people. You understand? The way they treat certain people. Once they realize who is you and where you stand for, because they only just think about, okay, that one is from that area, so he should be a strong NNP. That one is from that area, so he could be that's how they're judging people nowadays, But Sheldon, I pray, and every time I pray, I ask God to change this whole policy, this whole government, because I don't think they're doing no good for the country at all. Trust me. And they lie a lot.
Yeah. Yes, it's
They
true.
lie a lot.
It's true.
They have to. If the Prime Minister and his members just stop lying, maybe the country He might not have all this death where people can't even police will investigate it no matter. Everything they lab about, you know. Everything they lab about, no security. Because once the Prime Minister could hide and go in Nigeria when he want and come back when he want, he go with a commercial plane and come back with a jet. You understand this kind of thing? And I'm so something wrong had to be wrong in this place. And some people, the Prime Minister is the best Prime Minister. You understand? The guy doing so much wrong things. Oh my God. And they have him like I know they was calling him like Jesus. I don't know. I won't call him so. One person I know I call him is the Almighty. Anyway, Sheila, they're listening you.
Yes,
I don't driving tonight, so yeah, you take care of yourself, man.
brother. Thank you
And
so very much for
Chang
your
get
call.
fan. Chang get fan.
No, the fan.
Chang get fan.
I can't use a fan because if I put on a fan, you're gonna hear the breeze passing on the microphone. This is a very sensitive.
Yeah, because you had to get you had to get a roof fan. A roof fan you had to get.
I have one of those on me right now, along with another fan that's faced away from me, and it's not working. I need to get some air conditioning. That's what I need to get inside.
Okay.
there. It's
Okay.
And the thing is,
Well,
if I
yeah.
open the windows to where I am, what happens is that the cicadas, the crickets, and so on outside, you know, they make this high whistling noise. It comes
Yeah.
through the microphone. The
Sheldon,
owls
I
that
need
are
to make my
outside, they hear it through the
contribution.
microphone.
I really to make my contribution to the program. I try starting to do it, but what had happened to me, my car is like the number. Maybe I'll have it in the wallet,
Yeah. Oh, I understand.
especially
It's happened to me
Ariza
before.
and Cooperative Bank.
It's happened to me before. They rub off, yeah.
You just fail away, so you can't get all the numbers.
Yeah, I know it goes.
So you can't get you. So I may have to try and see if I could get your secretary Kami to drop it for you.
Camille Teresa Scott. That's mother secretary. There's a mother that right there.
That mean friend. That
That's
mean friend
my
on the
mother,
work
man.
for sometime. Yeah.
All right, bro. Thank you
I
so
got
very
the pass and
much.
give Kami.
Yeah, no problem.
Yeah, all right, you take it.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Yes, indeed, folks. I think we need to start putting together. I need a AC inside. Yeah, I need, not for comfort and for survival, because I'll see what's going on with me inside here right now. Yeah. So those of you that can donate towards the program, yes, do that, because I have some lights on me and all of that too. All of that adding to it, and I can't open the windows because you're hearing the owls, you're hearing the screeching, you're hearing all them things outside, so I can't open. Trouble with a capital T. Yes, folks, and let me just let you all know, tomorrow there are going to be 2 events taking place. No, we will be having talking points tomorrow night. Let me say that first of all. It's Wednesday, and we will be having talking points tomorrow night. But there will also be, for those of you in Mount Rush and surrounding areas, Village Connect. Join the conversation that's taking place at 6:30 p.m. And it's going to be up there in Mount Rush. I don't know the exact location, but up there in Mount Rush. And it's up to bat. You're going to have Dr. Adrian Joseph. You're going to have Mr. Nimrod Oliver and Mr. Troy Noel. All right? So these 3 gentlemen will be there tomorrow to speak to you and to speak with you. All right? So that's NNP Village Connect. And it's going to be out there at Mount Rush, St. George's, Dr. Adrian Joseph, Mr. Nimrod Oliver, and Mr. Troy Noel, starting at 6:30. And then, for those of you in St. Andrew, this one is going to be taking place at the Post Royal, in Post Royal by Nichols Shop. That's NNP Village Connect. And the political leader will be there, the Honorable Emlyn Pear, and she'll be joined by Mrs. Amanda Japal George. All right? So that's taking place 6:30 tomorrow at Post Royal by Nichols Shop out there. All right? Yeah, so that's starting at 6:30 tomorrow. So 2 activities taking place tomorrow. No, they will not be streamed. As such, we will be having talking points tomorrow night, God's willing. I need to always put in that to Camille to say, and Miss Jacob and them, you say, don't all say anything and you put in God's willing. Put in God's willing. All right, so God's willing, we will be having that 2 activities tomorrow. So we'll be having the NNP, the NNP Village Connect. So we will be having talking points tomorrow night. Yeah? So folks, I pretty much finished on the procurement. You all understand the Procurement Act now. And you all understand how they're utilizing it. So when you see some of them driving the bad ride and so, And you wonder, it's because they get a contract that didn't have to go through procurement, because see, procurement go leave a proper paper trail. The board would have to sit. There's no one person is the PS in the Ministry of Finance and some other people. They are part of the procurement board, and they would have to sit there and go through to find out if that person or that company is really capable of doing the job. So there'll be a paper trail. So to avoid the paper trail, they move the amount from 15,000 and they put it at 100,000. So anything under 100,000, then one of them could get a contract for 80 grand. If you are NDC and you ain't get your 80 grand contract yet, ask what's going on. If you are supporter of the NDC and you ain't get your 80 grand contract yet, that fella's getting it, you ain't get yours yet, ask for it. Find out what's going on. Because that is the reason that they raised that from what it was to that now. Yeah? So I hope that you all understand a bit more the Procurement Act as is. And folks, I saw this came into the email earlier today. I did mention it about 2 weeks ago. I did mention that the government of Grenada is now hiring, the Grenada Transport Commission, they are hiring traffic wardens. And I still ask the question, are they now legal in the mind of the Attorney General? Because we know that Grenada's present Attorney General challenged the legality of traffic wardens. She asked, are these people really and truly doing a legal job? She took it to court. She lose. She appealed the case, and then elections came. So I don't know if the case was thrown out, if the case thing, but she appealed the case, or maybe she dropped the case when she became Attorney General because she was fighting a case against herself. We do not know. But she's part of the cabinet right now that is hiring traffic wardens. And you see what they say, they must be physically fit, all that kind of thing. But remember, it's the same person that where is she? Where is she? Yeah, I've got it somewhere here. Yeah, she's the same person that did this particular case. I went to the Eastern Caribbean. I went and find that case there. Yeah, in the Supreme Court of Grenada and the West Indies Associated States High Court, right? The matter, the Road Traffic Act and Road Traffic Claudette Joseph as the claimant and the Attorney General. Now she's the Attorney General, so I don't know if the case was dropped or whatever, right? And that is the case, right? Under that, the claimant, Ms. Joseph, a practicing attorney at law, issued a fixed penalty notice by a traffic warden in the town of St. George's, Grenada. The fixed penalty notice alleged that Ms. Joseph did use a mobile device while driving motor vehicle contrary to Section 77B of the Road Traffic Act. Being dissatisfied with the fixed penalty notice issued on her, Ms. Joseph challenges the lawfulness of the appointment of traffic wardens and the fixed penalty notice issued on her. In essence, Ms. Joseph claims that the fixed penalty notice issued on her is unlawful, given that the post of traffic warden is not public office, as provided by Section 111 of the Constitution, nor is a traffic warden lawfully employed by the Grenada Transport Board. You know you have the Grenada Transport Commission. Yeah? But we've seen ads coming out, they're asking for traffic wardens and so. So has her view on this, because remember, she's the person that's giving legal advice to the government of Grenada. She's the legal expert. Yeah, right. But she's the legal expert. That's that's giving advice to the government of Grenada right now. And she's the legal expert that take the government of Grenada to court and lost. She have a habit of doing that. And lost, saying that traffic wardens are illegal. Traffic wardens are not really and truly, they're not allowed to give her tickets. Yeah? Because the High Court dismissed the matter. But remember, she wanted to appeal the High Court judgment too, you know. Yeah, she wanted to appeal that. Let me see if I could find that, boy.
This Act ruled that although the Grenada Transport Board was not a statutory body, traffic wardens contracted by it were lawfully hired and could perform the functions and duties assigned to them. Further, although they perform certain limited functions traditionally performed by police officers, traffic wardens are not police officers. Ms. Joseph says her main contentions are that 1. In amending the Road Traffic Act to establish the Grenada Transport Board, which was given the power to, among other things, appoint traffic wardens on contract, Parliament contravened Section 84 and 89 of the Constitution. Secondly, traffic wardens perform certain police...
So wait now, this was, I mean, we contravene the Constitution in her mind, and right now they're doing the same thing? They hiring traffic wardens? Well, what is this now?
These functions and are not lawfully employed by the Transport Board. And thirdly...
Oh, but is the Transport Commission the same that you change from Transport Board? They like to change the names, I think. From Transport Commission Board to Transport Commission now. Is the same people that looking to hire these traffic wardens. Did they not get legal advice from the Attorney General?
That the police service is part of the public service established by the Constitution. Therefore, traffic wardens are to be treated as police officers.
The court said that as far as it was concerned, I did not raise that sufficiently in my case. We have already filed our appeal, and I will let you know that the matter came up before the magistrate's court. Now, the issue of the ticket came up before the magistrate's court this morning, and the learned magistrate adjourned the matter pending the outcome of the appeal.
Joseph said they believe that the judge has erred in her judgment.
The errors that we think the judge made is that the judge erred when she held that traffic wardens were not carrying out the functions of police officers, right? The Police Act is clear. The Road Traffic Act is clear as to what functions traffic wardens.
Sorry, who's the Attorney General of Grenada right now? Because if you're saying that all of this was wrong, unconstitutional, that it was against the Road Traffic Act, the Police Act, and all of this, who is the Attorney General of Grenada right now again?
Carry out.
Attorney General Dia Forrester maintains the accuracy of the judgment handed down.
Of course, just prior to this briefing, we were served with a notice of appeal, which indicates that the decision of the trial judge is being challenged by the claimant. Of course, it is our position that the trial judge was correct in all of the findings made, so we will be objecting to the appeal. Now, the decision of the trial judge stands as the present state of the law, and with that, and with there being no stay on the decision, that is the applicable law in Grenada, unless it is overturned by the appellate court.
Forrester described the argument put forward by Joseph as flawed.
Essentially, traffic wardens are not police officers. Now, that finding to us was not surprising because as on a review of the Road Traffic Act, in comparison to the Police Act, it is evident that the duties of traffic wardens are not equivalent to that of police officers. Even the duties in common between traffic wardens and police officers are in relation to regulating traffic, but there is no basis on which to state that only police officers can regulate traffic. It was a logical argument of the claimant, but flawed, I would say, was advanced. It was a flawed argument.
Christelina John, GBN News.
Yeah, well, I don't know what changed now, because I mean it's her government that doing it now. You see, it just shows the hypocrisy of these individuals. It shows the hypocrisy of these individuals. What was, in their view, wrong during the period of the New National Party is now right. So the same traffic wardens who were supposed to be illegal are the ones that they're looking to hire right now. Yeah? So I'm asking again, what was the outcome of that case? How did that case end? Yeah? How did that case end? It will be very interesting on finding out how that case ended. Yeah? Because it wasn't us. She that say. Yeah? She that say that how the thing illegal and so, you know. And now you see them putting out, where do you think go? Yeah, let me see if we can find the thing here. Yeah, no, she that putting out thing. She own government, she too. They putting out thing looking for the same man. Who is hiring them? The Grenada Transport Commission. Yeah, not the Royal Grenada Police Force. Right? Must be physically fit. Submit your application to office@transport.gd. So that's our official government email. And look the number to call if you're looking to get through. Although the present Attorney General says that you all are illegal. Yeah, so they're saying they're illegal and they say, so all you hire illegal. yeah. All you hire illegal people, boy. What? Yeah, boy, they hire illegal people and things. That's what's going on there right now. Folks, yes, you can call, but I wanna play something else for you all right now. Yeah, I wanna play something else for you all right now. And let me see, I just wanna get it from the start here. And it's from a little while ago. Yeah, actually today. So let me just get this and start playing that.
What are some of the proactive measures the government intends to take to help Grenadians cushion the global challenge?
And let me ask for folks to hold on the calls until I'm finished with this one, then you can call. So let me put a hold on the calls until I'm finished with this one.
The ongoing war, which will definitely affect the cost of living.
Thank you, Joanna. It's not intended to take. We have already taken those measures. So we can start with...
Oh, so the government of Grenada has taken measures to deal with the increase in the cost of living? That's surprising to us. Let me go back. Let's hear the question again and hear how the Prime Minister responds. Cammy, put the pillow. Yeah, we know you're not watching. You take off Cammy, take off the thing, right? She ain't watching.
To take to help Grenadians cushion the global challenges regarding the ongoing war, which will definitely affect the cost of living.
Thank you, Joanna. It's not intended to take. We have already taken those measures. So we can start with what is perhaps the most significant input that impacts the cost of living, which is the cost of energy and primarily the cost of fuel. Since this administration got into office, we came into office coming out of COVID, which had brought significant disruption to the world economy. And there was significant logistics, transportation issues arising from COVID, significant undersupply of almost every type of goods and services. Freight costs was off the chain, as people would say. And in a sense, the Iran-US-Israel war has created a similar impact. And as small developing countries, we have shocks all the time, whether it's hurricanes, whether it's wars, whether it's geopolitical tensions. So we've built in resilience mechanisms into our fiscal and economic policy. So we have a standing policy that this government adopted that says, for instance, once the cost of fuel reaches $17 or above at the cost at the pump, we will subsidize it and cap it.
Folks, that measure, remember, they removed the $15 cap, which would have been cheaper for the bus drivers, everybody. They removed that cap and they put a $17 cap. Yeah? And that was not done now. That has been in place for a while. Anyway, go ahead, Papa.
Stands now, the cost of fuel is significantly over $17 a gallon. And the government has capped it, which means you are paying at the pump the $17. LPG cooking gas, both the 100-pound cylinder and the 40-pound cylinder. The 40-pound cylinder has been permanently capped at $40, and it has been that way for a significant period of time.
With 40 pounds, I didn't realize that cylinder was 40 pounds. Anyhow, if you say 40 pounds, I thought it was a 20 pound cylinder, but anyhow.
It will probably cost almost double for a 40-pound cylinder of cooking gas, which is what the average Ghanaian uses to cook, to be able to create food. So when we talk about the cost of living and impact on food, that is one significant issue. The fuel you need to prepare food is subsidized by more than 50% currently by the government. Initially, we did not cap the 100-pound cylinder, but the rise in the 100-pound cylinder was astronomical as well. And so we've gotten to the point where we've capped it as well, so that if it goes, I think, over $300, and that is still a significant increase that has already happened, we will pay the difference. So I'm pointing that out because fuel, in the form of the ability to cook your food, the ability to drive your vehicle, and then the cost of the fuel that Grenlec uses to produce the energy is one of the significant things.
You all realize that the Prime Minister is trying to give people the impression that it is his government that capped the price of the 20-pound cylinder, not 40, the 20-pound cylinder at $40. Let's roll back again. You'd realize that he's trying to give the impression, if you're listening, the young folks that are out there that are listening right now tonight, because you're either listening directly to this program or you're listening because mommy, daddy, or grandma, etc. is listening and you're listening with them. This has been so nearly 10 years now. It was not the NDC that came in and did that. That is not a measure that the NDC put in because of what is taking place in Iran and the Straits of Hormuz right now. He is misleading, and this is willfully attempting to mislead the Grenadian people. This is not an accident. This is him willfully attempting to mislead.
Reaches $17 or above at the cost at the pump, we will subsidize it and cap it.
And again, the price was capped at $15 under the New National Party, which would have been better for everybody. That's why we say NNP is better for everybody.
As it stands now, the cost of fuel is significantly over $17 a gallon. And the government has capped it, which means you are paying at the pump the $17. LPG cooking gas, both the 100-pound cylinder and the 40-pound cylinder. The 40-pound cylinder has been permanently capped at $40, and it has been that way for a significant period of time. If we didn't cap it, both the 100-pound cylinder and the 40-pound cylinder, the 40-pound cylinder has been permanently capped at $40, and it has been that way for a significant period of time. If cylinder, the 40-pound cylinder has been permanently capped at $40, and it has been that way for a significant period of time.
He refuses to say that it was capped under the NNP. He wants to give the impression that he came in and he do something. These people have done nothing. Zero. Nothing. So far to address the cost of living here in Grenada. Wait for the electricity bill, you go realize what I'm talking about.
It will probably cost almost double for a 40-pound.
Folks, in 2016, the cost of a 20-pound cylinder was $42. It was capped at that during the, it was capped before that. But 2016, I remember seeing one $42 for the 20-pound cylinder. After that, it was leveled off at $40. That was under the New National Party, not under this individual and his government. He is willfully trying to mislead the Grenadian people, and that should not be allowed.
Average Grenadian uses to cook, to be able to create food. So when we talk about the cost of living and impact on food, that is one significant issue. The fuel you need to prepare food is subsidized by more than 50% currently by the government. Initially, we did not cap the 100-pound cylinder, but the rise in the 100-pound cylinder was astronomical as well. And so we've gotten to the point where we've capped it as well, so that if it goes, I think, over $300, and that is still a significant increase that has already happened, we will pay the difference. So I'm pointing that out because fuel, in the form of the ability to cook your food, the ability to drive your vehicle, and then the cost of the fuel that Grenlec uses to produce the energy is one of the significant things. We've actually had a standing subsidization policy in place for persons who consume less than 99 kilowatt hours, where the government pays $10 towards the electricity bill.
Again, what the New National Party had in place would have saved you significantly more than $10. Might as much, according to what your usage could have been as high as nearly $100, according to how high your usage was. Yeah? Or it may have been a $30 here or $40 there, etc. Because what the NNP did, some people tell me they don't want to see this man there, right? So let me see if I can put it so. Yeah. What the NNP did was that they dealt with the non-fuel component of the bill, because you realize that you can't deal with the fuel component of the bill, or that at least you shouldn't deal with the fuel component of the bill. So all he's saying there is a lot of nothing, you know. He's basically saying that they did nothing since the start of this conflict to be able to deal with the increasing cost of living here in Grenada. Nothing.
There's a permanent rebate there. We've had in place, for example, with the bus owners.
And again, it's not a permanent. It is not a permanent rebate. My goodness. Please tell the truth, man.
Wanted an increase. And I've said to them, I understand why they want an increase. They have not had an increase for, I think, over 15 years in the cost of transportation. They've argued quite persuasively that parts have gone up. Fuel prices have gone up. Brakes have gone up. And they're the only ones who haven't gotten an increase. And we've said, we hear you, we understand, but transportation is a public good. And we recognize that if we pass on those costs to the public, again, the cost of living, the impact, particularly for school children and workers on, so would be negative and would impact your own business because people may not even be able to afford the transportation.
As he mentioned, school children. Whatever happened to that bus service? Whatever happened to the pilot bus service that was supposed to be dropping children to and from school, and whatever take place with that? That gone through. That we ain't bothering with that again. I just asking. Anyway, yeah, right.
We've said we will give you concessions on parts. We said we will give you rebates on gasoline. It was initially for a 1-year period. I met with the PSN Transportation today. We've agreed to bring back the submission to Cabinet to continue the rebate on the fuel. And bearing in mind, we are capping the cost of the fuel as it stands right now. So we are already paying for the partly for the fuel. But
busmen, all you know anything about that? All you know that all you're supposed to be getting a rebate on fuel. Busmen, do you all know that you all supposed to be getting a rebate on fuel and so on? They bringing thing to get rebate on fuel. You all understand what he's actually saying? All your bus association presidents tell all you anything about that? All you know that any discussion take place in relation to that? Or you pulling that one out of the hat? Because tonight itself, you call the PS and say, come to me, we have to do this thing quick. We have to try and bring something. All you know anything about? What about the fishermen? Let me see if we hear about them.
The public, and we will go back to get rebate on parts and rebate on concessions and so on. So these are just simple examples of how we are actually already dealing with mitigating the cost of.
No, so you're doing it to bring it now to cabinet to get it done, but you're already doing it. You lie. It's simple. You ain't doing nothing, and you're too shamefaced to say you ain't doing nothing. So you're lying in relation to the 20-pound cylinder. That has been so over nearly 10 years now. I know that has been capped. Nearly 10 years now there's been, over that, there's been a cap on the 20-pound cylinder. On that, the small cylinder. Whether it's 40, whether it's 20, that cylinder of gas. That has been capped. So it's not you come in and things start in Iran and you cap anything. Don't lie or try to mislead the Grenadian people. Stop it. There are many of us out here who ain't stupid, you know. The people who listen to this program on a nightly basis and view this program, they are not stupid. We continue to call on the government of Grenada to take measures to protect the Grenadian people. What you're saying there is not true. Busmen, all you know, I go ask them busmen in the morning when I take the bus. I want to know if they know they're supposed to be getting concession on parts. According to him, I know the NNP had done something for the busmen, and so I know during COVID quite a lot was done for them. Yeah, especially when they had to stay home. And I know a lot was done for the busmen during that period of time. So I want to know if the busmen know now. Because the question was, what is your government doing now? Now what you may be planning to do. So I want to know if the busmen know anything about this. You see, does that close the eye when they lie into anyone?
Persons. But I want to emphasize this. The cost of living is the importation of inflation.
Which is why, if you reduce on various aspects of your taxation, you can reduce the price for the average Grenadian. And I didn't even go to business school, and I know that much. I can tell you. I can tell you that much. I ain't even go to school, in business school. Yeah, I was a arts and science student. Physics, chemistry, asked me about them thing there. I didn't. Wait, we have a call on the line. Hello, good night.
The voice of one crying out in the wilderness.
Hey, two in 2 nights. That is good.
Yeah.
Pastor,
I'm Sheldon. I am flabbergasted.
You're flabbergasted,
Yes. As a citizen of Grenada, Carriacou, and P.T. Matnick.
All three of them.
Yeah, all three of them. To sit in my living room and to witness the interview with the Prime Minister and that young lady. And the Prime Minister sit there with his blue suit and lie like that. Mr. Prime Minister, you don't have a conscience? Mr. Prime Minister, as a young man, you lie and misleading the public, especially to the younger ones that do not know that you are lying. Mr. Prime Minister Dickon Mitchell, you does not have a conscience, sir. You come and you lie for the nation just like that, barefaced, sir. Mr. Prime Minister, come on, man. I need you to apologize for the statement that you made here tonight because you lie. What you said they happened under the NNP administration. Don't try to mislead the younger generation. Oh my God, Sheldon, this thing hit me like a boulder. I mean, lie is the order of the day for our Prime Minister. What is the problem, Mr. Prime Minister, in speaking the truth? I say it now and I will say it again. What you said there tonight, you lied to the nation. You misled the nation. You shouldn't do that, man, because you knew to yourself that what you were saying there was a blatant lie. Oh my God, no, what example? Oh, I mean, you convinced the person that interviewed you there that what you said is the truth. Boldface, Mr. Dickon Mitchell. Dryface, Mr. Dickon Mitchell. Without a conscience, Mr. Dickon Mitchell. You, Sheldon, have a good night, man. Oh God. No. That is the worst. I mean, no.
But you see,
Grenada in trouble.
Let me tell you something, Pastor, before you go. And I want everybody to note this, huh? What is being said there is not aimed towards you. When I say you, Pastor, it's not being aimed towards you. These individuals are going after two particular demographic of voters right now. Those who are outside of Grenada and don't know better, and those who are inside Grenada but too young to know better. That's who they're going after with these sort of things. So when they say these sort of things, there are young people in Grenada who would say, well, the Prime Minister doing a lot. He's doing a lot in relation to this thing. And look, he doing this and that. No, because they don't know better. And those who are outside of Grenada, they will not know better because they're not living in Grenada. They haven't been here, some of them, for a while. But they are high in praise of the Prime Minister. Oh, Mr. Prime Minister, you're doing so much for the country and all this sort of thing. But they haven't been here or paying attention, so they are unaware that he is lying. He's lying.
What the Prime Minister should know again, Mr. Prime Minister Dickon Mitchell, you look at yourself as the most intelligent person on the island of Grenada, and you take all Grenadians as a bunch of dummy and a bunch of fools, including all your cabinet ministers. You believe that you're the only person that have sense. Mr. Prime Minister, having you as a leader, Grenada is in deep trouble. Sheldon, I sit down here and I shock when I hear the man say that, you know. Me had beat the pump, you know.
Nothing surprises me again, so I'm not surprised.
But you're lying like that and not realizing. Sheldon Watchman, let me really congratulate you for your program. I mean, if I ever want to congratulate you for educating the public, and I think that is the reason why this administration have problem with you and people like Andre Donald and people like Mr. Pierre and people like Jenny Simon, who will come out and combat the lies. Mr. Dickon Mitchell, one more thing I have to say to you. Repent before God. Not for the lie that you make tonight, you know, but for the lies that you continue lying for Grenadians. You should have never do that. But you never know that you would have find yourself caught in the web of people like Sheldon Scott. Sheldon, have a blessed night. I'm disappointed in that guy. You don't lie. Thank you. God.
Yes, indeed, Pastor. You have a good one. All right. Yes, indeed, folks. Now, listen. Let me play for you what a proper, at least an attempt at doing something for your people sounds like. Let me see, where did that go to? Here over here. Yeah, here over here. Oh, that's what goes on here. All right, so that's why. Right. Let me just get it again. So I think I played this one before, but let me play it for you all so that you all can hear when a prime minister is actually taking measures to address the cost of living, what it sounds like. Not coming to try and sell it like you did what the NNP did, but let me play this for you. Yeah? Yeah, let me play.
For the situation to worsen. We are actively and decisively working to protect the people of Dominica. Over the coming days and weeks, we will implement a series of targeted measures designed to cushion the impact on households and businesses. First, we will introduce targeted relief measures to help manage the rising cost of living. This will include temporary reductions on duties and taxes on essential goods and increased support for vulnerable households through our social protection programs. Second, we are taking steps to manage energy costs. We will work closely with the Dominica Electricity Services to moderate the impact of rising fuel prices on electricity tariffs. And of course, geothermal is coming just at the opportune time. Third, we will protect jobs and economic activity. We will engage with stakeholders in tourism, agriculture, and the private sector to ensure continuity and resilience during this period. Fourth, we are strengthening our fiscal management, carefully prioritizing government spending to ensure that critical services are maintained while some discretionary expenditures are deferred.
So you all understand when you have a prime minister and a government that actually is attempting to do something. Yeah, there's one from further up, I think it was the British Virgin Islands, or one of them I had as well. I'm not seeing it right now. But that one from the British Virgin Islands as well. That is what a government that's actually trying to do something for their people. Like for instance, this one is in Dominica. They've got this in place, yeah? They've got this in place. No VAT, no import duty, and they have the list of items. Yeah? And these are measures that they're taking now to deal with the cost, the increasing cost of living. Here, our Prime Minister telling us about things that were done 10 years ago and saying it in a way to try and give the impression that he government that do it. There's a list of items in Dominica. Yeah? That they have no VAT and no import duty on. That's going to reduce the cost of these items so that it wouldn't break the bank for people. They would be able to afford it. Yeah? That's just the ones with no VAT and no import duty. Yeah? But here in Grenada, the Prime Minister tried to sell us. I think we have a call. Oh, we missed that call. Yeah, call back. But they have put measures in place in Dominica, in Antigua, in St. Lucia, in St. Kitts, in Barbados, in Trinidad. They are putting measures in place and have put measures in place to protect their people. Here, our Prime Minister only putting measures in place to protect themselves politically, but not to protect you, the Grenadian people. Yeah? Right now, they're missing in action. Let me get this phone call. Hello, good night.
Good night, Mr. Sheldon Scott.
I know that voice.
All right.
I ain't say nothing else, but I make out the voice.
All right. I called because I want to, help clarify and probably help the Prime Minister to know what really is going on.
Mm-hmm.
The question about the the rebate on the fuel.
Mm-hmm.
That was implemented approximately about a year ago.
Mm-hmm.
But it was only implemented for a category of busmen. Now, for instance, me and another bus operator went into the transport committee, the transport authority place in the stadium, and we had a brief meeting with Mr. Bartholomew. Now, what went on here is that in the that short meeting we had with him, the concession is given to the bus association's membership and not busmen in general. You see, what is tying up the Prime Minister and the government is that they don't understand that more than 90% of bus operators in Grenada is not in an association. So I asked Mr. Bartholomew, I said, sir, could you give me an idea of how many busmen is benefiting from that rebate, that fuel rebate? And he called someone in the Ministry of Finance at the same time. And the person responded to him in a couple of minutes and told him only a little less than 300 bus operators receiving this fuel rebate. And there is over 3,000 buses all over the country.
Give me that figure again.
A little less than 300 bus operators receiving that rebate, right? And there is about 3,000 buses operating in the country. Now, what happened here is that the government is not even aware of what is going on. They allow the associations to dominate government funds. You ever hear that? The president of those associations is dominating the funds of Grenada government in that way. Now, they are telling the bus operators in some cases, some busmen have to pay $500 to join association. In some cases, $300, $200 to join. So the majority of busmen is saying this money is not association money. The association is not paying busmen any money. It's the government that is paying. So the majority, or maybe something percent of the busmen is not in that program. They don't take no part. They don't have to pay no association, no money to get government money. Now, children, every bus operator in Grenada has a file with their documents of the bus up in the ministerial complex. That is how your authority on the route, right, on a bus route is your sticker, nothing to do with association. You have your license, your driving license, you have your bus license, you have your insurance, and you have your road sticker. Nothing to do with bus association, right? So the government doesn't understand that they have made a serious mistake, and the people of Grenada, the busmen of Grenada, is not benefiting by that program. They did try to implement it, but they do it wrong. This is supposed to be done, right, on a transport board desk, on a desk where every bus operator could bring in the bills and they then send it to the Ministry of Finance and collect the rebate in the bank or whatever, wherever. But once it goes through the association, we all know what association, the history of those associations over the years, right? So, I mean, I was in an association, right? When I left that association or stepped out, you could say, I left a certain amount of money, almost close to $20,000 on association account. Today, if you ask about that money, nobody can answer. So busmen doesn't have the confidence in the associations. So that is why nowadays you hear they talking about going and form other committees and make other nonsense. And look at that, National Bus Association, right? Last year, November, our Prime Minister made a statement and said that it is time that we move away from private ownership of buses on the same program. DM with the PM, he made that same statement. It's time we move away from private ownership of buses and form cooperatives, and where the same bus drivers will come back and drive for the cooperative. So these people don't understand, and the busmen still don't understand, and nothing was said from the National Bus Association, who is representing the poor private bus owners. They don't say a word. You see, and he's wrong. About 15 years, busmen again no increase. This year is 20 years, right? Because, but to be exact, 19 years. Because, yeah, the last, no, well, I was part of the negotiation in those times. I mean, 2007 was the last time we had any increase in bus fare, right? 2007. So there's nothing at all from that time. And when you're talking about his joke, with this parts thing, Sheldon is a joke.
So
you're real papi shooting. You think about it.
So hold on, you all ain't get no little rebate and thing, no little concession.
No, we don't get, because we are not on parts. No, this one is a real joke. This one is a joke. Now tell me something. You have a bus, and I will let me just say a wheel-bearing gone. Are you going to pack up your bus and order a wheel-bearing to come into and then make out your documents to go in the custom to clear one wheel-bearing that might take you 3 weeks or months to come?
No, you go in one of these.
That is only how that
places and buy.
That is only how that exactly. So you just have to go and buy. So you see, and these guys and them say they're representing busmen. They have the agenda. You know, they don't really, you know, you think about it. With the fuel price right now and the hardship that we are going through, the last increase in bus fare, children, a bus was $99,000. The high bus on it was $99,000 in 2007. Today, a new bus is close to, let me say $90,000. $190,000.
$190,000.
Working for the same fare. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So you understand, almost 100%. And these guys are going to sit down with the Prime Minister and whoever and accept rebate and 50% on parts, but you have to order the parts yourself. You can't go by Steels, or you can't go by Hoggins, or any other dealers outside there.
I was thinking along the lines that you go by Knights, or you go by Steels, or you go by...
No.
You get your part, and then when you get in your part there, you get your concession at that point. So you're saying it's only if you order the part and bring it in, that's the only way that qualifies?
Directly. Only if you could do it. That's only how you get that.
How many busmen would do that? Nobody.
So that he should have mentioned that, because you see, they just to tell you they are not on the ground. They don't understand. And even if you speak to a minister and tell them about what is going on with the concession, the busman is not benefiting. Well, leave it that way. Put it that way. What they have done, they have divide and rule mentality with the busmen, because a lot of real strong NDC supporters don't get nothing. You know, and just as I tell you, and I might have been inside there around the national champs time, around the time. Yeah, around that week or something like that, I went inside it, and I ended up passing inside that office. Me and a fellow busman, we went in that office and speak to Mr. Bartolome. He knows me well, and we had a long chat, and I explained to him, you know, because at the same time, he's saying that they say it's for bus association members. But you don't need no bus association member to provide your service to the Grenadian people. You don't need that. right? And there is nothing, Sheldon, in the road traffic ordinance that give bus associations any authorization on routes. Nothing, there is nothing in the law that give bus associations any tick to hold on to anything on a route.
Mm-hmm.
You understand? The RTA, that was changed way back, I think, in the last RTA, it was 2008 or 9 or somewhere. Yeah, they had a part in the law that said the license authority may consult the various organizations on the route.
Yes,
but the last RTA that came out, right? The last RTA that came out, they take out the may, so there's nothing to, so association has nothing really to hold on to anything on a route. Is your route sticker, as I said, your bus license and insurance. That is what gives you the authorization on the route. It has nothing to do with association, so a man is free to join an association if you want to, if he feels so, or if you don't want to. That has nothing to do with whatever rebate that the government is giving. And it should not have been done directly.
The Prime Minister is saying now that he speak with the PS and they're going back with the rebate kind of thing. So is it that whatever they had in place was ended and they're going, because now I'm a bit confused with his statement that
no, the reason why, well, I confused too, because I don't know if the Ministry of Finance and the Prime Minister, the government working on the head, because I don't understand that. Now, if you was getting $3.50 profit from the fuel, right, before the war, before the prices start to increase, okay, before the price start to increase, and you was giving back the busman the whole 100%. So the 350 you're giving back the busman the same 350 on the gallon, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Now you're saying that the price of diesel, if you take off the cap, the $17 cap, how they have it now, if they take off the $17 cap, the price of diesel will be $20.35.
Mm-hmm.
So it means to say that if you were given the rebate, it's only 15 cents you're able to give. Because if it's 20.35 from 17 and 3.20 and then 35 cents, so it's only 15 cents remaining. So what the Prime Minister is saying now that he's taking, let me say, government funds and pay the busmen. The rebate.
So he's
I mean,
he's basically misleading the nation right now. And again, as I said, it's two categories of people mainly. It's those who are living inside of Grenada and not living the reality here. And those who are too young to understand what is taking place, but they are able to vote. Because that is a misleading statement.
Yeah, you see, I don't know, because first time I hear you're going to take your consolidated funds and pay rebate with it, because then that means there is some mistake in the Ministry of Finance with the price of the fuel. That means they're not telling us the truth. They are taking, they used to be taking more than 350, because if now that is the price, the market price is 20.35, and $3.50 is the markup that he was giving back the busman. That was the tax, the full tax on the fuel he was giving it back. Then something is wrong somewhere. Where you getting money to pay the rebate? You gotta be money from central funds. Because I can see that. Yeah, you gotta be that. So I don't understand that one at all.
As it stands now, yourself and the majority of other busmen have benefited nothing under this. The majority of you.
Nothing. About 90%, because 90%. If you do the percentage, it's like, because that is, I mean, I'm telling you, that's around the character, the national champ time, when they're in the stadium. Around that week, we went inside and dropping bills for GCA, and me and my friend, we ended up passing the and Mr. But told me we ended up talking to him, And I mean, I asked him, I said, how many busmen, because I was telling him that, I say, on my route, maybe about 25 of the most received that. And you have about 60 busmen. St. David's here, just a few fellas are getting it. Well, but don't talk about those fellas that are going up, let me say, Grenville, Sotters, and those smaller routes. And them. No, they don't know nothing about this thing.
So they don't even know in some instances that it exists.
Nothing, they don't even know what's going on. You understand? And a few ingredients. Because when they call whoever the statistics person in Ministry of Finance, I mean, he was real cooperative. Because when I asked him that question, he said, you know, to quite honest, I had to show me and call the person in the Ministry of Finance. And they you know, in a short while, they tell him a little less than 300 bus operators receiving that thing, that rebate. So I mean, so the government feel that they making any penetration to the busmen with that. The joke they making. You know, as I was saying, you must have, you know, there's a concession desk, and there's every bus operator have the file. There is nothing about the association, and if the president don't put on your name, you can't get. And it's stupidness.
So you're
with government funds
at the mercy of the president of the bus association.
Of the bus association, if you don't put on your name, well, you don't get in. You see, and I mean, what the president has to do with your license and insurance and sticker, he has nothing to do with that. And what's what the roots where there is no association at all. You see, so Sheldon is just a joke thing that's going on, and the government have the feeling, yes, they're doing something, but they're doing something to who? Because if the Prime Minister was aware, the amount of money that is being paid and know the amount of buses that operates in the country, he would realize something is wrong.
Mm-hmm.
So he definitely not on the ball. He doesn't really know directly what is going on. Because and he doesn't understand.
Some people may have seen that, not seeing this program tonight, but may have seen that earlier and have gone out there now with the impression that busmen good. Busmen ain't to worry about busmen good.
But not nothing so much, nothing like that. I mean, just a small percentage of busmen that receiving that, you know, just a very small percentage. So that is just about it. Anyway, Sheldon, have a good night.
All right, thank you very much, my brother. You have a good one as well. And thank you for your call.
Okay.
Yes, indeed.
All right.
Yes, that's a good bus driver there. And someone is calling, but you need to call on the WhatsApp caller who is calling on the 421-7279. You need to call on the WhatsApp. I can't take the call direct. So you need to call on the WhatsApp. You see my watch ringing and all kind of thing. Yeah, you need to call not direct. You need to call us. Yeah, you need to call us on what? Okay, listen. You need to call us on the WhatsApp. You cannot call us direct. We cannot punch through the call direct, and I can't stop the program and take the call either. Yeah, no. You need to listen there. Need to listen there. We cannot take the call directly. You need to call us using WhatsApp. Yeah, once you call us on WhatsApp, we can access the call, but we can't take the call if you're calling direct. All right? Yeah. That person is listening, boy. Let's see if we can take it here. Hello, good night. Hi, you need to call us on WhatsApp. We can't access I can't get the call onto the program when you call direct. So you need to call us via WhatsApp. Yeah. Let me hold a second. Let me try something here. Hold a second. Let me see if I can try it like this. Let me see. Go right ahead, caller.
Yeah. Good night, Mr. Scott. The good boy walking bus in Grand, so I used to pick you and drop you off all the time. You're a small man.
Oh, okay, right, nice. Yeah, I know who.
That person that call and speak about busmen not getting rebates, he's telling a lie.
Well, he didn't say they're not getting. He said 90% are not getting. He said there's about 300 that are.
Yeah, but listen what's going on. For you to get the rebate, you must be a member of the association.
He did say that as well.
So because listen to me, well, you know it's bandit bus we walk in. We's Pong the Road. Most of Pong the Road busmen not under the association.
And are they getting the rebate since they're not under the association?
No, if you're not under the association, you will not get the rebate.
So
because
he's
you have
not
to
lying
pay-
because that is what he said.
You have to pay. You have to pay. Association fee and couple stuff go with the association. You understand?
But he did say all of that as well, eh?
Right, but you see, he can't say how the people is not doing nothing for the busmen. They are doing things for the busmen, but you know how the system is.
Well, if you're doing something, you have to do it in a way, because I think the point that he was making was simply this, and I hope the listeners are hearing, eh? The point that he was...
Me and you reason it, man. Me, I used to pick you up and drop you off. I know.
No, but what he's saying is that there was no need to do it through the bus associations, that every busman has a file that they have there, because with your route sticker, they have a file, so that they could have used that information so that the Pong the Road, like yourself and others, would have been able to benefit from the concession on parts, would have been able to benefit on the rebate on the fuel, and not just those who have to pay a fee and join an association, that there was no necessity to have to go through an association, which excludes now 90% of the people driving bus. So he didn't lie. Exactly what you're saying is what he said. But he just said additional to that.
What I'm saying is that, Mr. Scott, right?
Mm-hmm.
There is, if you don't have an association, in no matter what you do, you must have some form of order.
Yeah, and that's why he said that there's a form, there's a file for everybody.
If you're doing something and you want to get it across the board to everybody, the bus association should have it in a way. The Grenada Bus Association should be more informative, and they too should get more people to come to the meetings to form the body more proper than have someone saying, I don't go into meeting because of this, and they need to unite. It don't have no unity in the GTA.
Mm-hmm. But again, it still goes against the grain of you saying that he's lying. You're actually saying the same thing that he said. Everything that you're saying is the same thing that you said, you know. Probably you were calling when he was saying it, but...
Yeah, because how he's speaking is like, you know, like the boss, nothing is going on for the... Things is going on for the boss, but the unity is not there. Everybody fighting against each other. Somebody pulling here, that person pulling here, that person watching the member in the association saying, okay, that person making more money than me, so I don't siding with them with that. I just doing my own thing. They need to stop that and form a body and let the bus system and the bus association run more smooth.
Mm-hmm.
You understand? Michelle, when you take a look at the bus association, right? The bus association only do things for the owners and the drivers. Nothing for the man on the door who help them make money. Do you understand me?
Mm-hmm.
So everything goes one way. Why they don't look to the man on the door to help him get a loan, help him build himself, help him do something? No, all they care about is you just come in and make money for them and treat you like shit.
Mm-hmm.
You understand? The GTA need to form a proper body and have this unity across the board. Not when one man say they're not doing this and next say they're going and do that, and stop watching this one making more money than me, that one making more. So you will never have a proper Grenada Bus Association. All of them is just pulling and tugging who want this and who want more than this, and no, unite. And if the busmen unite, they will get anything they want throughout the country.
Mm-hmm.
And you know where I'm coming from.
No, I understand, and the thing is, I don't think either of you are wrong. I have often said that the busmen themselves don't realize the amount of strength that they have. For instance, I've always said, for instance, that if all the buses decide that you're all doing your own credit union, if you all decide you're doing your own credit union, remember you all already have the buses and the cost of the buses.
All this conversation with me and you when you used to travel with me.
Yeah. So that's why I'm saying that I won't say that the last caller was wrong. Both of you are saying the same thing in slightly different ways, but both of you are saying the same thing. But I think his additional
the whole
point
thing is, Mr. Scott,
yeah.
unity. They need to unite. Unity.
is
unity.
strength. Yeah. But I think
And if they don't unite, they will never get nothing they want because they go see them as a set of hungry dogs. They just doing what they want. They could treat them what they want, give them what they want. Unite, and then you will get everything you want. Stand up together.
All right.
Encourage people to come to meetings. Don't say, "But me not going to that meeting because that man have more money than me. I don't bother with them. They want all for themselves." No, stand up together and build the GTA together and from a strong body, and then you go see everything you want. They go get what they want.
Okay.
That's the reason passengers and people treat busmen like shit because they don't have no unity. They fight on each other. They run on each other, just as politicians do.
All right, my brother. But I hope to see you soon.
Yeah, I maybe I'm boss again, man. I'm done with that.
You don't. Oh gosh. But die not, man. I might see you somewhere still.
That's small man. I say big up.
Yeah. You know that, your boy. All right, partners. Bless up. Respect. Yeah, man. Yes, indeed, folks. And I think both persons are saying basically the same thing. But I think the additional point that the first busman was making is that there is no need to have to do a concession or a rebate to the buses to have to do it through a bus association, because government already has a file on every single bus. You get a route sticker. You get a sticker that says you, the owner of this bus is allowed to go on the Grand Anse Main Road heading down to as far as Point Saline if you need to do that between town and Point Saline. It has a sticker that says there's information, there's a file there that says that, and that methodology should be the method that's used instead of going through the bus association, because the vast majority of busmen are not members of the bus association. We have what might be our final call for tonight. Hello, good night.
Brother Scott, good night, sir.
Hey, how you doing?
Doing good.
All right.
Doing very well.
Lovely.
Right. So, my small contribution tonight, because time is gone, right? It's late already.
You go ahead, man.
Right. Is this. Now, what form of account that this government could give, financial account or accountability, can this government give for all of this work that they are putting through at this time? And how is it that those work, they just find money so suddenly to do all of this pitching and all of this training and all of, where is this money coming from? Can they give the people of Grenada a day-to-day account of that financial operation?
You seem to have forgotten that we've been hearing from many CCCCI. They have been saying
CCCCI.
it. Hanover, I think, is the other one there. There are several of them that have been saying it. They ain't getting paid. And if you listen,
they're not getting paid for it.
And if you listen to Reno, you'd recognize that Reno has said clearly that the only time he does get work is when elections coming up, is when he does get work in different countries. So remember, once he has worked, he had to be paid, whether by this government or the next. He has to be paid. So he don't mind. The bottom line is he doing the work. I've completed the contract that the government of Grenada give me. I have to get my money. So it's not that they have money. It's not that they find money. But all of a sudden they're patching the road. Yeah, that's what's taking place.
Credit, yes.
I have on record, and I'll play that as soon as I'm done. I believe I have it somewhere here. When Mr. Reynolds say he have no advice to give to politicians.
That's true.
He goes with the flow. He has no advice to give to any politician. He just going with the flow.
Well, I allude to that on one of the programs today, because I heard when he said it. I sat in my living room and heard him. I said, what? So that is what...
He had no advice to give to them. He go with the flow.
You know, and they are spending so... Watch me, Grenadians, listen to me. Just put some things into perspective here. Now, you cannot... Well, we don't know the date that the election is going to call. But between now and check 21 days between this period to the end of the month of June. Or it could be like already 20-something of June. Where that mega, you see that mega, that activity they're going to have, I don't want to advertise for them. That activity they're going to have, they're going to announce the date of election, and we would have 21 days according to the Constitution.
So how,
21 days.
my friend, I don't want people to think that. And here's why. What if that's the final rally of the election campaign? What's stopping them from calling the election next week? Because they know that people like yourself and many other people out there would be thinking that's the date election going to be announced. What is stopping them from calling the election before, and that just ends up being the final rally of an election campaign?
But do they have all the candidates? Do they have everybody?
You expect them to tell us that now? You expect them to give us information that will help us formulate in our mind when the election date is? No, they wouldn't do that.
But they had to think further than that. They have to understand.
No, Pastor. Don't make the mistake of accusing these people of thinking. You're making an error in judgment. You're accusing these people of thinking. Yeah, so what I'm going to tell you here is simple. We ought to look at election as being 21 days away from every single day that we are alive.
Every single day that we are alive.
We cannot think that we have time. So we have time to do this and we have time to do that. So that is the date we go announce it and then count 21 days from then. That is an error in judgment. It could very well mean that is the final day of the campaign, and the following day could be election day.
Right. So if you get vexed tomorrow morning, just call it. Yeah. So, but
because
anyway,
he
the most intelligent lawyer in the East.
He holds the conch shell in his hand.
That's the thing. But if he do recall, if he not recall, but if he do look back to what his good friend, not Philip Pierre, but Honorable Dr. Roosevelt Skerritt.
Oh, Skerritt, yeah.
Yes, Skerritt. If you look back, you would realize that they have funding, or they have some access to funding to cushion or to help the people with the crisis. Now, money here in Grenada, it slip out of the back door, so they're only catching it on the outside, to do whatever they have to do. And then the people, the poor, and listen, Grenadians, you have to understand that these people playing on you. They're playing on your mind. And now they start talking about the wash again. They start talking about the housing. But remember the houses in Corinth that the Chinese had made available through Kakabawi and Dr. Mitchell. That the 2,000 houses in the CB4 take back 1,000 and give us the money. Yeah? Yeah, but that couldn't happen. But look what happened. They take the houses, they call it condos, right? Condos, right? And they give the Polywally, $75,000 or $55,000, loan or purchase. And the poor and vulnerable, we're calling them the poor and vulnerable persons of Grenada, have to depend on some kind of flyby. 500 houses, the Grenada style houses. Take these things into account. Take these people and have no credible character, right, of being returned to the office. We have to say goodbye to them. That is our fundamental right. They did not serve us well, so we have to show them that, hey, our fingers are going to talk for us. We ain't hate all here. We love every one of you, but you have not served us in the way that you should have. Right? So goodbye. Goodbye.
Have a song for them, man. Don't worry, it's coming. I'm singing that one myself.
Have a good.
All right, my brother.
Have a good day.
Same to you. All right, Pastor.
Yeah.
And folks, just before we end tonight, I'm gonna play. Tell all you. I know Pastor asked where they getting the money and thing. You listen carefully, yeah. Listen carefully here. Let me see if we can.
Both sides. Let's look at national development with a bigger perspective. Let's not look at those small political gains Let's look at things more nationally and long term.
No, I'm not saying anything to politicians. I'm going with the flow with politicians. If I wanted to make that difference, I'd have gotten into politics as well.
Okay.
But I have stayed out of it.
You are saying Lucian, though. You have a right.
I'm saying Lucian.
You can have a right.
I can have a view. To vote.
So you're saying to the politicians, and I assume on both sides, let's look at national development from a bigger perspective. Let's not look at those small political gains. Let's look at things more nationally and long term.
No, I'm not saying anything to politicians. I'm going with the flow with politicians. If I wanted to make that difference, I'd have gotten into politics as well. Not saying anything to politicians. I'm going with the flow with politicians. If I wanted to make that difference, I'd have gotten into politics as well. Not saying anything to politicians. I'm going with the flow with politicians. If I wanted to make that difference, I'd have gotten into politics as well.
The man has made it clear. He going with the flow. So if you want the place paving it. You want that area dig up and doing it. Because whether you pay or the next government pay, the man is a businessman. You can't fault the man. The man on the game is a businessman. And if they go run the money, they're running the money. The man, you can't fault the man. Folks, anyway, yes, why? Papayo is after 10. Folks, remember tomorrow there are 2 meetings taking place. That's going to be the meeting out there at, let me just pull them up quickly before we end. Oh, where do you think go? It's supposed to be, oh, okay, over here. Yeah. So let me just pick them up quickly for you. And there's a meeting that's taking place out there in Mount Rush. That's NNP Village Connect. And there's going to be Dr. Adrian Joseph, Mr. Nimrod Oliver, and Mr. Troy Noel. They will be speaking there. That starts at 6:30 up there in Mount Rush. And also up in Post Royal at Neckles Shop. It's at 6:30. The political leader of the New National Party, the Honorable Emlyn Pear, will be there together with Mrs. Amanda Japal George. So that's the Village Connect. Join the conversation. It's going to be taking place in Post Royal at Neckles Shop, 6:30 p.m. tomorrow. And yes, we will be having talking points tomorrow night. Yes, indeed. So you don't worry, man. They're not broadcasting those. So we will be having our program as per what we used to. Yeah, this is the first time we having a midweek program for quite a while, you know. Yeah. So we're going to be having that tomorrow night, God's willing. Yeah, I already know what we're going to be talking about. And so folks, do enjoy the rest of your night. Those of you that can make your donations, oh, go help your boy stop sweat. Yeah, those of you that can make your donations, please do. That is all the time we have for Talking Points tonight. It's been wonderful being here with you, and everything you say and do it safe and secure. Want to be speaking to and with you, and definitely not about you. I am out.